Evolution isn't very difficult to understand, even though its implications are exceedingly important and complex. Each person is a unique pattern of information called a genome, or a living book. There are 46 chapters in our particular genome, or book, and roughly 25,000 pages, which are called genes, with billions of lines of code. This code is written within molecules, or very small bits of material, called DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, and is comprised of only 4 distinct nucleotides, or letters, which can be remembered by the simple acronym CTAG. They get bound together in 2 long curved spaces known as a double helix, which is a model that was first discovered by James Watson and Francis Crick back in 1953, for which they won the Nobel Prize. How did I become me? In other words, why is my book of unique information written and shaped the way it is? Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace co-discovered natural selection in the mid-part of the 19th century, and it is the key mechanism behind how and why our unique genetic book is so configured. As Darwin explained in his groundbreaking study on the origin of species in 1859, if variations useful to any organic being do occur, assuredly individuals thus characterized will have the best chance of being preserved in the struggle for life. And from the strong principle of inheritance, they will tend to produce offspring similarly characterized. This principle of preservation I have called, for the sake of brevity, natural selection. Perhaps the simplest way to understand the mechanism of evolution is by the acronym V.I.S.I.T.E.D. V for variation, which can occur from sexual selection and genetic mutation, etc. I for inheritance, just as clay tablets and scrolls and codexes can preserve valuable data for future generations, so too can DNA retain important information for future offspring. S for selection, which in this case means any sieving out process that arises in nature, ranging from competition within a species or from without, to overpopulation, to scarcity of resources, to natural disasters. The second I simply means including, indicating that the previous 3 factors must combine with T, which stands for time. Evolution needs a period of time in order to work, and we have this in abundance given that our known universe is 13.8 billion years old, and our planet Earth is nearly 5 billion years old. The E represents equals, indicating that if you have enough variation and a way to record such changes, and there is a winnowing process which determines winning and losing combinations, and there's enough time to play out such permutations, it will inevitably lead to D, which stands for design. In other words, the incredible complexity we see around us and within us, from the shape of our eyes to the development of our neocortex, is the result of forces which are in themselves sightless about what they will ultimately produce. We are, in sum, the end result of a blind watchmaker. Darwin's and Wallace's great discovery was that rich complexity can arise naturally without any intelligent guidance whatsoever. This explains why our bodily mechanism, though quite remarkable, are not perfect, but rather merely good enough to survive the universe's version of the Hunger Games and to pass on their genetic inheritance. In nature's vast publishing cosmos, we are books of information that have survived millions, if not billions of years of competition, where almost all tomes don't get the chance for reissues. We are successful new editions which have yet to go out of DNA print, and thus there is immense pressure on each one of us to make certain that we secure yet another publishing contract so that our unique configuration of data doesn't get destroyed and forever lost. Perhaps it can be crudely summarized this way: be mated or be dated.